Israel says it has now killed 16 militants in major raids in the West Bank, including a local commander. The West Bank now at a boiling point as Israel expands its military footprint, saying the raids are aimed at preventing future terrorism. Palestinians there see it as an expansion of the war in Gaza and an effort to consolidate Israeli control. Joining us now, retired Brigadier General Mark Kimmitt. Retired Brigadier, welcome back to the show. Nice to see you, sir.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Better now. Israel has been conducting raids in the West Bank. They're saying it's to target possible terrorist activity. What are the major risks of operations like this one that we're seeing?
Well, first of all, I think Israel is starting to use a long-term program of targeting terrorists and targeting key leaders. We're seeing them do that in Gaza. We're seeing them do that in Lebanon. We've seen them actually conduct attacks or potentially conducting attacks in Iran against senior Hamas leadership. So I think that this is just a pattern of changing tactics that Israel has followed for years and years. It does have a risk. It does have a risk of miscalculation. It does have a risk of mistakes. It does have a risk of provocation, which could lead to an expansion of operations by their adversaries.
I'm so glad you pointed that out, sir, because Israel's defense minister said this, quote, "Our mission on the northern front is clear: to ensure the safe return of northern communities to their homes. In order to achieve the goal, we must expand the goals of the war," end quote. So, alluding to what you just said, could expanding the war hurt ceasefire talks moving forward?
Oh, certainly. In fact, if the war expanded too much, then there started to be a ground operation against Hezbollah in Lebanon, either with Hezbollah attacking Israel or vice versa. Candidly, the operations inside of Gaza and the hostages, for that matter, that would be a sideshow compared to the size of the battle that would happen between Israel and Lebanon.
Ceasefire negotiations, though, are continuing this week in Egypt and Qatar. We know it's been a few weeks now. Gaza talks focus on nitty-gritty. That's what they're calling it. That's what Axios is calling it when it comes to getting hostages home and getting that ceasefire deal done. Now, according to Axios, U.S. and Israeli officials say they hope that when the package is ready, Hamas will see it getting most of what it wanted. Now, again, this is according to Axios. So the U.S. and Israel hope Hamas will see it's getting most of what it wants from a deal. But as we read this and as we dive deeper, how realistic, sir, does that sound to you?
Well, I just got to say that I'm old enough to remember the Paris peace talks in 1973. You may not be, but certainly many of us are. And those dragged on and on and on, and success and victory and agreement was announced many, many times. I'm hopeful that there will be a settlement, but as long as Israel continues to insist that they will maintain troops inside of Gaza for an indeterminate period of time, I would be surprised if Hamas agrees to that. But we've got some very good diplomats on this job, Bill Burns, Brett McGurk. If anybody can do it, I would tell you that they could pull it off. And if they do, it'll be quite an achievement.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.